Shalom, shalom. I pray again you had a wonderful time with Yeshua today, and that he also took the time to talk with you as you saw his face. There's something else I wanted to share with you that blessed me when Yah spoke it to me. And I'll say this, that, I learn not only from reading the Word. Sometimes when I'm reading the Word, Yah, he speaks to me, or when I'm praying, or when I'm praising. But I also learn from my other brothers and sisters in Yahushua. And it's such a wonderful thing to know that others are hearing from God about what's on his heart and what's on his mind, so that we can all be edified. And I encourage that for us, that we take the time to encourage one another, teach one another. And first, before you teach, make sure you're putting it into practice, my brother would say often. And that's because Satan will come to test you. He will come to tempt you to make sure your actions are lining up with your words. But I wanted to share again what Yah was telling me. We read in the Word, and I'll read it for you in Hebrews 13:2. It says, "Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing, some have entertained angels unaware." Oh, that's amazing. And God would, send his angels, his messengers down here. Now, we could be walking into a supermarket, we could be going somewhere, and there is an angel disguised as a normal human being. And Yah's telling us when that happens, it's not an accident at all. And Yahweh wants us to be ready in the spirit to be able to show God's love, his care, his compassion, everything is necessary, because that could be an angel that you were entertaining unaware. Now, with that reality, Yah gave me another reality that to some may be shocking. And that is, many times we also entertain God unaware. Yahushua, the Messiah, unaware. He comes, and again, we walk into a supermarket, we walk into our home, wherever we go, not realizing that we just entertained the Messiah completely unaware. And that's even more serious than we think. And we should realize that. And the reason that is very serious, I look back to the story of Samson, when Manoah and his wife, they were speaking with a man who they thought was just a man. And they realized it was the angel of the Lord. And they fell on their faces scared, because they thought they were going to die. You see, they had that fear. They had the fear just even at the idea that the angel of the Lord came to them. And they didn't even see the Heavenly Father face to face. They were unaware. How much more should we be if we entertain God unaware? How much more should we be on a proper, doing the right thing? Now, you may ask, at what time do we entertain God unaware? And how can we be ready and prepared? Well, if you read his word, he will tell you. And if your heart is prepared to do God's will, you will never make a mistake. You will never be amiss. And I will tell you how many times the children of God and those who don't even know him entertain God unaware. I will tell you. And it's more serious than any of us even think. It's a fearful thing. That God will come down and we missed it. And I'll read it in the word for you. Matthew 25, verse 44. Then they will also answer him, Yahushua, saying, Master, when did we see you hungering, or thirsting, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Truly I say to you, insofar as you did not do it to one of these, the least, his brethren, neither did you do it to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into everlasting life. And that's a reality we all need to understand. Especially when you come face to face with the child of God. And one who's striving to please God and walks in obedience to his Torah, who loves Yeshua first in his life and love. Yahushua lives within that temple. And he says, what you do unto those, his children, his brothers and sisters, those filled with his spirit, and they are covered by his blood, you are doing it directly to God. And Yahweh gives us a warning. Be careful the way you speak. Be careful the way you talk. Be careful what you do and do not do. What you did not do to them and what you did to them will all be played before the throne in heaven. And he will say, what you did unto them, you also did unto me. Go away into everlasting fire. A caution for us all. This is something that my dad Ezra always teaches us, to be careful with the things that we say, because life and death is in the power of our tongue. To be cautious, to be slow to speak and quick to listen, to be humble so that God can direct us and choose the words that will come out of our mouths, that will bring forth fruit and life. Because that's your brother and your sister next to you, and you speak carelessly, or you do not care for your brother and your sister next to you, you're doing that onto the God who created you and the one God who saved you, Yahushua. And this is what I wanted to share with you. I pray it blessed you. Shalom.